Week 5 begins now with a strange contrast of records as the 0-4 Bengals take on the 4-0 Ravens. First quarter would be a big blow to the Bengals as Boomer Esiason, the QB, would get injured. Cincinnati would have to go with Turk Schoner at the backup QB, and he'd hand off to Ickey Woods, who would gallop into the end zone to take the 7-0 lead, a score that would remain at halftime. In the third, it'd be a big play from Quandre Ismail. It led to the Ravens being in the red zone for the first time all day, and they took advantage. Touchdown, Jamal Lewis tied up at 7, but that be before Cincinnati field goal makes it 10-7 late in the fourth. Cincinnati thought they got their first win of the year, but that be before a big play to Patrick Johnson from Trent Guilford to get them in the red zone again. And with just 4 seconds to go, Matt Stover boots the 19-yarder to force overtime. Typically, if you win the coin toss, you win the game. Well, that looked possible as the Ravens drive to the 22 and later to their own 3-yard line on a play from Steve Gash. Put Baltimore in perfect position for a game-winning overtime field goal, and with 1:47 to go, Matt Stover's kick will decide if they go to 5-0, and surely they do. 13-10 is your final. These two teams, the only teams that has a goose egg either in the win or loss column. An epic back-and-forth game between the AZ7 Browns and the 90 Bills. First quarter would be a Kelly to Thurman Thomas connection that would give the Bills a 7-0 lead, and that would be followed by a terrible move by Kosar, and it'd be picked up by the defensive end Seals, which would lead to a Kelly to Metzlar's connection to make it 14-3 late in the second, and the Bills' domination would continue as it'd be an Al Edwards kickoff return touchdown. Bills lead at 21-3. But late in the second quarter, it'd be Kosar who would hit McNeil to make it 21-10 right before halftime. In the third, Ozzie Newsome with the touchdown, and on the 2-point conversion, Tennell would get in the end zone to make it 21-18. Bills only up by 3. They need to score here, but throw a costly interception. Frank Minifield on the return. He'd take it to the Browns' 49-yard line. Browns do, though, need one more big play from their offense. Late fourth quarter, 4th down and 2. The give. Ernest Spiner is stuffed, and they'll never see the ball again. Browns lose by the final 24-18. 0-2 Buccaneers and the 0-4 Eagles. Not much was going on scoring-wise in the first half. That field goal to put the Bucs up by 3, but Anthony McFarland, the defensive tackle, will be out with an injury. Partial groin tear, 2 weeks is the extent of the injury. 6-3 at halftime. The Bucs would late in the third tack on the lead to make it 13-3 the final. Michael Pittman scores this only touchdown of the game. Epic Madden matchup of the week, Week 5 edition. 92 Cowboys and the 68 Chiefs. But let me tell you, this was an ugly first half to say the least. The first half stats include 2 interceptions, 3 punts, 13 incompletions, 17 rushing yards, and 4 drops. And under 100 yards total offense. Sloppy to say the least. 3-0 entering the third. That'd be before Garrett would make a huge play, kick returning this all the way for a touchdown. The 102-yard return makes it 7-3, and later Len Dawson with a big chance to make it 14-3, but throws an interception to Jones to end a key drive, and that would lead to a Smith run to make it 10-7, and another Emmitt Smith run to make it 17-7 late in the fourth quarter. This game is just about over, right? We'll never say die to the 69 Chiefs and Mike Garrett. Another kickoff return touchdown, 2 in the same game. Despite that, the Chiefs still need another play with an onside kick, and they get that on a collapse by the Cowboys special teams, and then another collapse by their defense, letting Mike Garrett catch his pass, run all the way to the other 10-yard line. The Chiefs would have to kick a field goal, though, but that would force overtime. The Chiefs did win the coin toss, but they would get a 3-and-out, and the Cowboys would get a 3-and-out. But that'd be before they drive down the field, but would throw a terrible interception. Troy Aikman, he could go all the way. Thomas, 77 yards on a huge run, and the Chiefs have just won this game 17-23 on a huge pick 6 by Thomas, but that's after a huge collapse by the Cowboys, leading 17-6. 91 Redskins and the 08 Panthers will start in the second quarter when John Casey hits this field goal to go up 3-0, and then Art Monk with a huge catch and run to make it 7-3. right before halftime, but we've just shown one collapse. How about another collapse? The Redskins would fumble the ball by Riggs and then let this touchdown to go. Steve Smith on the receiving end. We only show a kickoff if it's a big play or a boo-boo. This was a definite boo-boo. Second fumble of the day, picked up by Richardson. Off of that fumble, the Carolina Panthers would get a field goal out of it, but a third fumble on the day, and it'd be picked up by Julius Peppers, and he'd run it into the end zone. The Skins do get a garbage touchdown late, and they'd lose by a final 14-19. Skins 3 fumbles on the day. 2 pretty good offenses face off here, 98 Falcons and the 89 Niners. I can just see Niner fans saying, Joe who? 7-0 before the 2-minute warning, but Niners would drive down the field, and it'd lead to this field goal to make it 7-3 at halftime. Late in the third quarter, Smith in the end zone to make it 14-6, but Niners would have to reply. Jerry Rice on a big grab, his third of the year in the end zone to make it 14-12, and they have to go for 2 to tie it up. Roger Craig in the end zone now, 14-14 with just over 2 to go. Montana with 25 to go would throw another interception, second on the day and third on the year, and this would lead to an Atlanta field goal killer for the Niners to make it 14-17 now. On that big field goal. Niners with one final shot. They have to go for the deep ball. Jerry Rice he caught it, but he is 33 yards short of the end zone. Sure, he can celebrate, but his Niners lost 17-14. 09 Texans, 08 Cardinals. Shockingly, this game is all Texans. Ryan Moats to make it 7-0, and then Steve Slayton to make it 14-0. And those Cardinals would get a garbage touchdown late in the fourth quarter, but they'd win by the final 14-7. And that game's followed up by the 0-4 Jaguars and the 0-5 Seahawks after a scoreless first half. Millie makes it 7-0 with 44 seconds to go in the third. Then with 3 seconds in the third, it'd be a Fred Taylor 32-yard gallop. Not too bad for the bet. And it'd be a big field goal late to go in the fourth quarter. Josh Brown to make it 7-10, but the Jags counter on the very next play. Brunell to his big play man, Barlow to make it 14-10 late in the fourth. But then the Seahawks counter. Jeremy Stevens on the receiving end. Hawks drive to the 7, and on first and goal, Alexander brings it to the 1-yard line. Final play of the game, it'd be second down and goal from the 1-yard line. Who's going to make the play? Down by 4, Hasselbeck throws. He's got his man. Millie again to make it 17-14, and they'll win by that score. Both teams now 2-3. It was the expected Madden match of the week, as it's Tom Brady versus John Elway. Maroney makes it 7-0, Brady makes it 14-0, and Morris makes it 21-0. Pats dominate, winning 24-0. They're now 4-1. 09 Colts and the 99 Titans. Colts, oddly enough, shut out in the first half 6-0, and would get no more help from their special teams. Mason all the way to the end zone to make it 12-0 early in the third quarter. After the Colts tack on the field goal late in the fourth quarter, they get a big play from there. Fifth stringer of all people, Hank Baskett, to make it 10-12, and Adam Vinatieri with a chance to get his team one final shot. They do recover the onside kick, and Manning would have to drive down the field. He'd hit Wayne here. The game will come down to a Matt Stover field goal attempt with 5 seconds to go. The kick. Wide left. Yikes. Last game now, 09 Jets and the 72 Dolphins. Brian Greasy, just back from injury, would hit Mercury Morris to go up 7-0. Then Sanchez and the Jets would counter with a big play to Braylon Edwards and tie it up at 7. After that, this game would be all Dolphins. Greasy with another touchdown, 21-10. Final would be 21-16. Top 3 plays of Week 5, number 3, Montana to Rice. They hit that so often. Nice pitching catch there. Number 2, Mike Garrett with his first of 2 kickoff return touchdowns. He'll hurdle a man and run all the way 102 yards at the end zone. Now the number 1 play wasn't the greatest play, but it was the situation. The Millie touchdown got the Seahawks in the lead with 1 second to go. Just want to now give a shout out to 89 Niners 07840. He gave me truly accurate rosters of all these teams. I really don't know how you did it, and that's my shout out, so peace out, y'all.